to Vir Vigi. Worst Vigi. As we walked through the early morning streets of York, I ate my garlic bagel and told my friends about my dreams. Our new buddy, Pottery Barn, clanked along beside us, drawing disapproving looks from sleepy locals like, "Blah, tourists." At least my story kept TJ's attention, so he didn't pester too many Yorkshire folk with thank yous and handshakes. He said, I wish I knew why we needed the whetstone. I think maybe Odin discussed the Bulwark incident in one of his books. The Aesir Path to Winning? Or was it the Art of the Steel? I can't remember the details. A big beast with green eyes, you say? And lots of teeth. I tried to shake off the memory. Maybe Odin killed the beast to get the stone. Or maybe he hit the beast in the face with the stone, and that's how he got the mead? TJ frowned. He popped his new glasses on the rim of his cap. Neither sounds right. I don't remember any monster. I'm pretty sure Odin stole the mead from giants. I recalled my earlier dream about Fjallir and Gjallar's chainsaw massacre. But didn't dwarves kill Kvasir? How did giants get the mead? TJ shrugged. All the old stories are basically about one group murdering another group to steal their stuff. That's probably how. This made me proud to be a Viking. Okay, we don't have much time to figure it out. Those glaciers are melting fast. Midsummer is in like 12 days now, but I think Loki's ship will be able to sail long before that. Guys, Alex said, how about this? First, we beat the giant. Then, we talk about our next impossible task. That sounded sensible, though I suspected Alex just wanted me to shut up so I wouldn't breathe more garlic in her direction. Anyone know where we're going? I asked. What's a Kongasgirtha? It means King's Court, TJ said. Was that in your travel book? No, TJ laughed. Old Norse 101. Didn't you take that class yet? I had a scheduling conflict. I muttered. Well, this is England. There's got to be a king with a court around here somewhere. Alex stopped at the next crossroads. She pointed at one of the signs. What about King's Square? Will that do? Pottery Barn seemed to think so. They turned their double faces in that direction and strode off. We followed, since it would have been irresponsible to let an 8-foot-tall pile of ceramics walk through town unaccompanied. We found the place. Hooray! King's Square wasn't a square. And it wasn't very kingly. The streets made a Y around a triangular park, paved in gray slate, with some scrubby trees and a couple of park benches. The surrounding buildings were dark. The storefronts shuttered. The only soul in sight was the giant Hrungnir, his boots planted on either side of a pharmacy named, appropriately enough, Boots. The giant was dressed in his same quilted armor, his shaggy limestone beard freshly avalanched, his amber eyes bright with that can't-wait-to-kill-you gleam. His maul stood upright beside him like the world's largest Festivus pole. When Hrungnir saw us, his mouth split in a grin that would have made masons and bricklayers' hearts flutter. Well, well, you showed up. I was beginning to think you'd run away. He knit his gravelly eyebrows. Most people run away. It's very annoying. Can't imagine why, I said. Hrungnir nodded at Pottery Barn. That's your ceramic second, huh? Doesn't look like much. You just wait, Alex promised. I look forward to it, the giant boomed. I love killing people here. You know, long ago, he gestured toward a nearby pub, the Norse king of Jorvik's court stood right there. And where you're standing, the Christians had a church, see? You're walking on somebody's grave. Sure enough, the slab of slate under my feet was etched with the name and dates too faded to read. The whole square was paved with tombstones, maybe from a floor of an old church. The idea of walking over so many dead people made me queasy, even though I was technically a dead person myself. The giant chuckled. Seems fitting, doesn't it? Already so many dead humans here. What's a few more? He faced TJ. Are you ready? Born ready, TJ said. Died already, resurrected ready. But I'm giving you one last chance, Hrungnir. It's not too late to opt for bingo. Ha! No little energy. I worked all night on my fighting partner. I don't intend to waste him on bingo. Mokkerkalf, over here. The ground shook with a squishy thump, thump. From around the corner appeared a man of clay. He was 9 feet tall, crudely shaped, still glistening wet. He looked like something I might make in Pottery 101. An ugly, lumpy creature with arms too thin and legs too thick. his head no more than a blob with 2 eye holes and a frowny face carved into it. Next to me, Pottery Barn started to clatter, and I didn't think it was from excitement. Bigger doesn't mean stronger, I told them under my breath. Pottery Barn turned their faces toward me. Of course, their expressions didn't change, but I sensed that both mouths were telling me the same thing. Shut up, Magnus. Alex crossed her arms. She tied her yellow raincoat around her waist, revealing a plaid pink and green sweater vest I thought of as her combat uniform. You do sloppy work, Hugnir. You call that a clayman? What kind of name is Mockerkalf? The giant raised his eyebrow. We'll see whose work is sloppy when the fighting begins. Molkerkopf means mist calf, a poetic, honorable name for a warrior. Uh-huh, Alex said. Well, this is Pottery Barn. Hugnir scratched his beard. I must admit, this is also a poetic name for a warrior. But can it fight? They can fight just fine, Alex promised, and they'll take down that slab of heap of yours, no problem. Pottery Barn looked at their creator like, I will? Enough talk! Hugnir hefted his maul and scowled at TJ. Shall we begin, little man? Thomas Jefferson Jr. put on his amber-rimmed glasses. He unslung his rifle and pulled a small cylindrical paper packet, gunpowder cartridge, from his kit. This rifle has a poetic name, too, he said. It's a Springfield 1861, made in Massachusetts, just like me. He tore open the cartridge with his teeth, then poured the contents into the rifle's muzzle. He pulled out the ramrod and jammed down the powder in the ball. I used to be able to shoot 3 rounds a minute with this beauty, but I've been practicing for several 100 years. Let's see if I can do 5 rounds a minute today. He fished out a little metal cap from the side pouch and set it under the hammer. I'd seen him do this all before, but the way he could load, talk, and walk at the same time was as magical as Alex's skill at the pottery wheel. For me, it would have been like trying to tie my shoes and whistle the Star-Spangled Banner while jogging. Very well, yelled Hugnir. Let the Tvigi begin! My first task was my favorite one, getting out of the way. I scrambled right as the giant's mallet slammed into a tree, smashing it to kindling. With a dry crack, TJ's rifle discharged. The giant roared in pain. He staggered backward, smoke steaming from his left eye, which was now black instead of amber. That was rude! Hugnir raised his mallet again, but TJ circled to his blind side, calmly reloading. His second shot sparked off the giant's nose. Meanwhile, Molkerkopf lumbered forward, swinging his tiny arms, but Pottery Barn was quicker. I wanted to credit the great work I'd done on their coiled joints. PB ducked to one side and came up behind Molkerkopf, slamming both vase fists into his back. Unfortunately, their fists sank into Molkerkopf's soft, gooey flesh. As Molkerkopf turned, trying to face his opponent, PB got yanked off their feet and dragged around like a ceramic tail. Let go! Alex yelled. Pottery Barn! Ugh! Meinfurter! She loosened her garrote, though how could she help without actually fighting, I wasn't sure. Crack! TJ's musket ball ricocheted off the giant's neck, shattering a second-story window. I was amazed the locals hadn't already come out to investigate the commotion. Maybe there was a strong glamour at work, or maybe the good people of York were used to early morning Viking giant smackdowns. TJ reloaded as the giant pressed him back. Stand still, little mortal, roared Hugnir. I want to smash you. King's Square was close quarters for a Jotun. TJ tried to stay on Hugnir's blind side, but the giant only needed one well-timed step or one lucky swipe to flatten TJ into an infantry pancake. Hugnir swung his maul again. TJ leapt aside just in time as the maul splintered a dozen tombstones, leaving a 10-feet-deep hole in the courtyard. Meanwhile, Alex lashed out with her wire. She lassoed Pottery Barn's legs and yanked them free. Unfortunately, she put a little too much muscle into it, just as Molkerkopf swung in the same direction. With the excessive momentum, Pottery Barn went flying across the square and smashed through the window of a store offering payday loans. Molkerkopf turned toward Alex. The clayman made a wet gurgling sound in his chest, like the growl of a carnivorous toad. Whoa there, boy, Alex said. I wasn't actually fighting. I'm not your gurgle. Molkerkopf launched himself like a wrestler, more quickly than I would have thought, and Alex disappeared under the 300 pounds of wet clay. No! I screamed. Before I could move or even process how to help Alex, TJ screamed in the other end of the courtyard. Ha! Hugnir raised his fist. Wrapped in his fingers, struggling helplessly, was Thomas Jefferson Jr. One squeeze, the giant boasted. And this contest is over. I stood paralyzed. I wanted to break into 2 parts, to become a duality like our ceramic warrior. But even if I could, I didn't see how I could help either of my friends. Then the giant tightened his fist, and TJ howled in agony.